It is now recording. All right, it is now recording.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for everyone who is joining us right now. Hello and welcome to Social Media Marketing. I am Eileen Villa-Golden with the Maricopa Sbdc, and I will be the facilitator for this webinar. I will be monitoring the chat throughout the webinar, so if you have any questions, make sure to put them in the Q&A so that they do not get lost in the chat. As everyone is joining us, would you all please introduce yourselves? We will now be having our Sbdc business analyst, Jeri Denniston, give us an overview of the Sbdc.
Thank you, Eileen, and welcome everyone. I'm delighted to have you here. Let's just move forward. Initially, before we get into the presentation for today, let me just talk a little bit about Sbdc. We are one of 10 centers in the state of Arizona. We're funded by the Small Business Administration federally and Maricopa Community College District here in the Phoenix, Maricopa area, Maricopa County. But we're, as I said, we're one of 10. We have about 15 counselors here on our team, which includes 3 former SBA lenders and a variety of expertise that that covers, you know, a wide breadth of expertise in all kinds of businesses. So we have the training, we have the resources, we have the counselors. All of our services are no cost to you because of our funding situation. And I'll tell you a little bit more about how you can get engaged with the Sbdc. One of the things to point out too is that we do have relationships outside the Sbdc. We have a wonderful relationship with the Arizona Commerce Authority that makes it possible for us to provide additional tools. We also have a relationship with the city of Peoria. So if you live in Peoria, then there's a special relationship there, and we're working on making sure that we have an office. Now, as we're getting back into seeing people in person, that we have somebody over there to staff that office. So why don't we go ahead and get started. I'm Jeri Denniston. I'm not going to read my whole bio here, but just to give you an idea, I've been working in digital media, social media marketing since 2005. So I'm self-taught. I've taken a lot of training myself to learn about this because I recognized early on that this is the future of marketing, and marketing has been my career, my entire career, in my work life. I'm also proficient in and certified in a variety of tools here with the Sbdc, as well as other tools that I use in my own consulting practice. So what we're going to cover today, these 6 things, we've got about 40 to 45 minutes. I will let you know too that I will do my best to answer your questions as we move along. I don't mind being interrupted. I prefer to have this be as interactive as possible. So please just put your questions either in the chat or the Q&A. Eileen's going to be monitoring that. I'll also do my best to monitor that as well. But what I want to cover today is, first, we're going to talk about your target audience, because this is really the place to start. You need to know who it is that you're trying to communicate with on social media. Then which sites they use. And that's important as well. We're going to talk about setting goals and the kinds of goals that you want to set for social media marketing, because these are different than goals that you set for everything else. We're going to actually do a little keyword research, and this will be an interactive session because I'm going to ask you to provide me with keywords, and I'm going to demonstrate how you can do keyword research. And then we're going to provide some tips on how you can make your social media profile stand out. And that's an important area to focus on. And then creating different content for each site. This is also important. And so we'll cover all of that as we go along. First of all, let's talk about knowing your target audience. What is really important here is that you have a good mental picture of who your target audience is. And this means this is your ideal customer. So if you're in business and then you have a storefront, let's say you're a bakery or a cafe or something, then pay attention to who's coming in and who are your repeat customers, and what do they look like? Are they families? Are they women? Are they men? Are they teenagers? Who is it that you are actually seeing on a regular basis, and who's buying your goods and services? That will help you begin to put this whole picture together. One of the things you're going to get a copy of the slide deck. You're also going to get a copy of the handouts I'm talking about here. And so I've saved this slide deck as a PDF with the hyperlinks so that you can they're active links. You can click on them from the PDF and then go to those websites for more detailed information. One of the tools you're going to get is this customer persona tool. So this is something I also provided when, go back. This is a tool I also provided in the marketing webinars that I did earlier this year. And this is really important. It's a great way for you to begin to document what you think the customer needs and wants are, what their pain points are, what are the challenges they're dealing with, what are their lifestyle habits, those kinds of things. And you just keep updating it as you go along. If you've got more than one, ideal customer, then I would recommend you do one for each of them. And then you just keep it updated as you go along. But this will help begin to paint that picture of who you actually are wanting to communicate with. Because if you've got one good customer, ideal customer demographic that you've identified, you want to find more of them. And that's the whole purpose, is to find more of those same people. So here's the other thing you want to think about. You want to be focusing on which social sites they're actually using. You may be on a lot of these, but if your target audience isn't using that particular site, then maybe it's just doing that for fun, but it's not going to get you any new customers. It's not going to get you engagement because you're talking to the wrong people. For example, TikTok may be fun and you like doing those videos on TikTok, but if your target audience is not in this demographic, 10 to 19, if your target audience is really women who are on Pinterest and in the 50 to 64 age group, then spending a lot of time on TikTok trying to reach that demographic is not going to get you anywhere. You really need to be spending that time on Pinterest. So knowing who your target audience is and which platforms they're using is really critical on social media. Facebook, these change all the time, by the way. So last year, the demographics on Facebook were almost equally split across every single age group. And now we're seeing 57% male, and then female being the next largest age group. A few years ago, the largest growing demographic on Facebook were women 50 to 65. Why would you think women's 50 to 65 would be the fastest growing demographic on Facebook? Anyone have any ideas? This is a question I like to ask, just to see if I get any response. Any ideas why women over 55 would be the largest growing? Sharing family pics and news. Absolutely, Laura. Yeah, this is, they're trying, all the families, a lot of families are dispersed across the United States. So, the retirees have moved into nice, areas where into their retirement homes, but their kids are still in other cities across the country. So, how do they stay in touch? If not by telephone, tracking them, getting in touch, seeing the pictures of their grandkids and their kids on Facebook is a way that they can stay engaged and stay in touch. So yes, you're absolutely right. In addition to knowing which sites your target audience is using, you also need to set some specific goals. So one of the things I've talked about, when you're setting marketing goals, overall marketing goals, you might be setting some financial targets, right? You might want to be increasing your sales, increasing revenue, increasing traffic to your store. You can also set those goals for your different social media sites. That is going to determine the type of posts you're going to be putting, the kind of content you're going to be sharing on the social media. But one of the things that the different social sites really manage and monitor in terms of insights is engagement. And engagement for all of them means shares and comments. The search engines are all interested in how many people are commenting on your posts, how many people are actually sharing them, and how many people are actually clicking on the links that you include in those posts. Those are the analytics that you want to track on your social posts. And you'll notice that on all of these, comments and shares, and on YouTube it's views, right? On LinkedIn it's views, on YouTube it's subscribers, but comments and shares are the predominant things that these social sites are really interested in. On Twitter, a retweet is considered a share. A mention would be like a comment because someone's posted something and done, at Jeri Denniston, at J Denniston, for example, which is my Twitter handle. On Pinterest, they're repinning the posts that you've pinned there, and they're commenting, and they're also following you. So those are the kinds of things you want to track. But in addition, if what you are trying to generate is sales to your website, to your Shopify store, or more eyeballs on your blog post, those would also be targets, specific goals that you want to set as you are working through your plan for social media marketing. So this is another handout that you will receive if you haven't already received it. I'm going to just see if I set it up so it would, enlarge. This you might find helpful. It's just a worksheet to give you an idea on one piece of paper for each social platform, and choose only 2. Okay, that's the other thing. Don't try to do all of them. Choose the top 2, 1 or 2, where your ideal customer is likely to be, and focus on those until you begin to reach those goals. You can always branch out later by adding yet one more social platform, but don't overwhelm yourself. So for each one of these, like LinkedIn, for example, are you going to use it or are you not? Just choose the ones you are going to use, and who's the primary target group. Identify. LinkedIn, those are professionals, right? So if you're really trying to reach a professional demographic, you're trying to reach managers and CEOs and those kinds of professionals in the corporate workspace, LinkedIn's going to be a really good platform for you. And then what do you get from being present? Well, this up here tells you this is what you're going to get from being present. You choose one of those, and then what are you going to publish? This is the content. Just a brief description on that. This is a fillable PDF that you can use to just give you some ideas and a part of a plan for putting your social media marketing plan together. Okay, I said we're going to talk about keyword research, and that's an important piece of this whole puzzle. The goal here is to actually create a list of 10 to 20 keywords. Is everyone familiar with keywords, with what I'm talking about in terms of keywords? Just put in the chat. Yes. So Laura says you know what keywords are. Okay, good. So some of you, good. I'm glad to see a lot of you know what keywords are. Just for the few of you that are not quite sure, the keywords are the actual words someone types into the Google search bar. So Google actually counts more than one word as one keyword. So if someone types in restaurants near me, breakfast cafes near me, best coffee near me, that is one keyword. Best coffee near me is one keyword in terms of Google. And that's the word, that group of words, that phrase is something that has to show up on your social posts, on your blog posts, on your web pages, exactly in that order and exactly the way that's been typed into Google. And that is how you use keywords on your different platforms in order to show up in searches. And that's a really important thing to do. So here on this page are the top best free keyword research tools in 2022. This is something that changes all the time also because different platforms update. For a while there, I wasn't even showing Google Keyword Planner just because it was really complicated. They've simplified the process extremely over the years. So it's actually a very good one. And we're going to go there right now. I'm going to actually just link from the PowerPoint here. Let's hope this works. And it does. So it's taking you to the link that's on the slide deck, which is this Zapier link. That's where I found this whole list of all the keywords. I deliberately did that so that you could get more detail about each one of those. But we're going to go to the Google Keyword Planner. So it's just multiple steps right now. And go to the Keyword Planner. I happen to be logged in to my Google account, so that's why it's going to take me right there. If you aren't logged into your Google account, then it's going to ask you to log in. But you do need to have a Google account. And and this is free. If you have Gmail, it's free. Google makes a whole bunch of tools available to you. So this takes you to the Google Keyword Planner tool. So I would suggest clicking on Discover New Keywords. And what I'm going to ask is for someone to just type into the chat, what would you like? What should we search on? I don't want to do a near me because I happen to be in Prescott Valley and it's going to show Prescott Valley results. Ghostwriting. Okay. Oh, mobile art studio, dietary supplements, utility bill management, drone services. Okay, this is interesting. Let's look at, I'm going to do drone services for starters. Do we want to add Phoenix or a city? This is another thing. If you add the city, or because there's a lot of searches on Phoenix, on Gilbert, on different. So if we add a city, then we're going to Tucson, Southern Arizona. Okay, let's do that. Drone services, Tucson, AZ. Okay, I got. Well, we'll just leave AZ also. You can put in more than one, right? So you can add other types of keywords. Let's start there and just see what the results are. Drone services, Tucson. Okay, so here we now have some suggestions from Google. You can broaden your search and it gives you some ideas. Toy accessories, radio controlled toys. So the different things that you can add in here. Let me just close out of that. Let me scroll down. So what you're looking for, here's the keyword, Tempe, Havasu banner, interesting, AZ capital. So that's because I put in Arizona as a separate keyword I'm getting, but let's look at drone photos, drone photography, drone services. So drone photography, come on, click on this. It's just a little slow. Can I broaden it? Yes. So drone photography, Tucson. Okay. So you're getting average between 10 and 100 monthly searches. And I have a feeling that actually is in the thousands, but maybe not. Maybe it is only 10 to 100. So it's not highly searched on. 3-month average change shows a 3-month change, not much change. Year over year change, nothing. Medium competition. What you're looking for is high search volume. So like this one, AZ Capital, 10,000 to 100,000 searches. So a lot of people searching on Arizona Capital. And that could be the Capitol building. It could be financial. We don't know until we dig a little deeper. But you're looking for high search volume and you're looking for low competition. And then you're also looking, let's see, this would be the bid range. So this means if you were to do an ad, a pay-per-click ad on Google, then if you wanted, Google does this by, this is the bid rate. This means every time someone clicks on that ad, it's going to cost you $1.24 or $2.16. In this case, I think we were looking at this one, $2.16, which is kind of high. It's got medium competition. You're really looking for something that's low versus medium, and the top of the page bid range is 25. So you'd pay $25 to be at the top of a Google search page on average. So let's go back and let's look at what were some of the others. Let me go back here. Let's see. Remodeling, ghostwriting, best barbecue. I bet I'm going to find something on best barbecue. Let's do that. So here's some options. Let's do best BBQ. Let's also do best barbecue because people spell it different ways. Let's try those two and then see what results we get. Did it not? Okay, here we go. So we're getting best barbecue. It gets 1,000. Scroll up. Gets 1,000 to 10,000 searches. Best BBQ gets 10,000 to 100,000. So very good, but we've got very high competition. So then we want to look at what are some of the other keywords that we might look at. So the one that's got low is best barbecue BBQ on 115th. If you happen to be on 115th Street or Avenue, that's really good. So you've got low competition, but it's also only getting 10 to 100 searches. Let's look at best Hawaiian barbecue near me. There you go. If you're doing Hawaiian barbecue, it's getting 100 to 1,000 searches on an average monthly volume and very low competition. So this is the sort of thing that you're looking for, and you just have to keep testing them. Let's see what else we've got. Here's best way to grill. Maybe that gets very low competition. So if you're in the barbecue business, one of the things you could post about is how to do your own barbecue, how to grill, and the best way to grill. And that's just informing and educating and teaching. This is content you're learning, right? This is educating and informing people. And oh, by the way, if you really want the best barbecue, click my link and that'll take you to my website where my restaurant is. But meanwhile, you're the chef and you're educating people about the best way to grill. Well, now that means you need to use that phrase, best way to grill, on your social post and in your blog post and on your website. Same thing for best Hawaiian barbecue. If you're doing a Hawaiian barbecue, then you would want to use those words exactly. And BBQ, not barbecue, the way I spelled it out. So that's just to give you an idea of how to do these. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to do one more because I think we've got time. And we'll just start over again, get rid of these. Let's try ghostwriting. I think that's interesting. I happen to work with a lot of authors. So ghostwriting. What else could we add to ghostwriting? Laura, it looks like you're the one that provided ghostwriting. So what would be another? Editor. Okay, ghostwriting, editor, book. Any type of books? Authors? Special nonfiction? Nope, wrong. Spelled it wrong. So spelling them wrong is also not a bad idea, because that's the other thing. We mistype all the time. Some people might spell it with 2 words. That's true. And they might spell it hyphenated. So we'll try that as well. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. But as I was saying, we mistype all the time, just like I did. I added an R in there, non-friction. If it gets a lot of searches, that might be a keyword you also want to deliberately include in a post, in a social post. I wouldn't recommend putting it on your website because even though it gets a lot of searches, people are going to point out, although it might be, it's something to test, right? You might test it on a page, but if it gets a lot of attention because it's getting a lot of searches, and people might be commenting and pointing out to you, hey, you have a typo on your website. Well, that's great. They've reached out to you. Now you can reach out to them and say, hey, thanks for letting me know. That, give me your name and information, and I'll, your email, and I'll give you a free something, right? You've just captured, now you've just captured somebody into your email marketing system, which we don't have time to talk about today. But anyway, that's how this sort of works together. Sometimes it is actually useful to use misspelled words because they're commonly misspelled and people are searching on them. So let's look. We've got online photo editor. That gets 10,000 to 100,000 searches and very low competition. We got Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's, 100,000, but it's high search, right? Because that's a very popular book. To Kill a Mockingbird. Oh, you're getting all kinds of interesting things here. That gets 100,000 to 1 million searches and only medium competition. Jane Eyre, also, these are big books. Amazon KDP for Kindle publishing. The Hate You Give, interesting, low competition. Well, if that happens to be the topic with a lot of searches, if that happens to be a topic of a book that you're editing or is relevant to the audience that you're dealing with, that may be something that you want to include, maybe in a social post or a blog post. Scary stories to tell. Anyway, this gives you a wide variety. Kindle Cloud Reader, Little House on the Prairie. Here's Invisible Man, gets up to 100,000 searches with low competition. So those are fiction books. Yeah, too much in the search, I would agree. So let's get out of, and we also got software, photo editing, right? These were some others that Google suggested as a result of those. So if we go back to our search results and we say ghostwriting, editor, nonfiction, let's leave out book. You want ghostwriting is 2. Ghostwriting. Let's just do ghostwriting, not an editor, but ghostwriting nonfiction. Let's see what we get. So we got nonfiction books for teens. That's 1,000 to 10,000 with high. So these are high. Let's look at the low. Bally Gifford Prize. Okay, that's got low. So if that's relevant, that might be something that you want to talk about. Let's best historical nonfiction, 1,000 to 10,000, high search volume. Again, let's see, we've got medium search volume, high search volume, ghostwriting. Yeah, it's high search volume. So there's a low one, James Patterson ghostwriter or ghostwriting. That's low search volume, but a fair number of searches. So this gives you an idea of the kinds of words to put in here, and you just have to keep testing to get to a list of 10 to 20 of these that you can use. And I would recommend that you don't use them all in the same posts, obviously, but you choose one and you test it and you use it for a while, use it on several different posts over the course of a week or so. And if that's not performing, then use another one. The same thing with your blog articles. If you're writing blog articles, then use 1 or 2 that's relevant to the content that you're writing about in the article and see what kind of results, if it's showing up in different searches, if it's getting picked up by news media, because the news media is doing these kinds of searches too. And if they see something interesting on LinkedIn, in an article you wrote on LinkedIn or on your blog, on your website, you could be contacted by media to say, hey, we want to use that article and we'd like to get a quote from you. So that I'm happy. It rarely happens, but if it's a topic that a reporter is writing about, then you could find that you're showing up because it's a popular search term. So just some things to keep in mind. The keywords are really spread across the internet on a wide basis. So let's go back to our slide deck now. Any other questions about keyword research? I have a question for you. How many of you have actually done keyword research in preparation for doing your social posts and making sure they're listed in your blog articles and on your website? So just put that information into the chat if you would. Has anyone here done any keyword research? Never. None yet. Learning and prepping. Okay, good. Nope. Yes. Okay. Marcia has not. It's new to me. Usually rely on word of mouth. With Google Ads. Yep. It's important with Google Ads. Absolutely, you have to do that. Okay, well, I'm glad this is something new, and I recommend that you do it and create your list of keywords. And do the searches. So even the words that are key, I try to use the words that are key. So some of them are really intuitive, but it's always good. You can just test it yourself by going into Google and seeing what shows up when you just type some keywords, type something like you're searching for yourself, right? You're searching for your business and just type it into Google and see what shows up. Your competitors are going to show up. That's good information too. You also want to look at the websites that are showing up in the Google search. And if your website's not among them, then you know that you've got some work to do. So yeah, adding the keywords in the metadata, absolutely. You want to do that. That's behind the scenes. Using multiple negative keywords for ad campaigns to narrow results. Good point. Very good point. Yep, those are all good strategies to use. All right, let's talk about your social profiles. This is also important as you build out your social profiles on each one of those, that you are actually using all the tools available to you on each of those platforms. You want to also have consistent branding. So if you're using, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about this on each of some of the platforms, but you want to make sure you're using the same color. If you're using your photo because you're the brand, if you're using your photo on your profile, on your Facebook and LinkedIn you would, but on all your social pages, then you want to make sure it's the same photo across all of those platforms, so that when people land on Facebook or on LinkedIn or on Twitter or wherever, they see the same image and they recognize, oh yeah, that's the same. It's the same person. Don't switch them up, because part of it is the same logo, the same personal profile, the same header information across all of them. You're giving the comfort to the viewer that they are in the right place, that it is the person they're looking for from one social profile to another. But you do want to show your personality. It doesn't have to be boring, but it should be authentic. Absolutely. And make sure it is, like I said, consistent across all of the different platforms. So let's talk a little bit more about each one of these. So on Facebook, how many of you have a Facebook business page and a Facebook personal profile? Just let me know if you've got both. You do, Louis. Okay, yes. Both, have both. Perfect. Okay, cool. So this is important, and you know the difference between the two, because I have run across some only personal, developing layout for business, James. Okay, good. It's really important that you keep them separate. The personal profile that's where people can friend you, right? So if what you've been doing is posting on a Facebook that you think is a Facebook page, but the only thing that people can do is friend you, then you know it's a personal profile. If the Facebook page, however, lets people follow you or like your page, then it's a business. And Erin, your business isn't open yet, so you haven't created the business page. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. But make sure you have a business page and you get it open you actually do it before the business opens, because you can do a whole bunch of teasers on Facebook showing, if you're doing some remodeling or some business build out or something like that, you can be showing all of that to gain interest on your Facebook page to just tease people, and then do the grand opening post on Facebook when you do open. So I would recommend you get it up and running first before you actually open, if it's a physical location. About 6 months. Okay, purchased a franchise, currently looking for a location. Okay, good. Good. So the timing's not quite right, but maybe a month or 6 weeks before you open would be a good time to start promoting, not promote, doing your posts on Facebook just to get some interest going. Facebook has this step-by-step guide, which I recommend you also, if it helps, if you aren't familiar doing this, it walks you through creating your Facebook page. You want to use as much of the tools that it gives you as possible. So share your vision, your mission, your values. This is, people, when they go to a Facebook page, they're going to first look at the headline. They're going to look at your cover image. And so the cover image needs to be enticing. You've got 3 seconds to capture someone's attention. They're going to look at how well built out the Facebook page is. They'll look at the logo. Is it interesting? They're going to go to your about page. That's the next place they're going to go. And they want to see more than just, 2 or 3 sentences. They want to see who you are. What is this business about? What's your vision? What's your mission? What do you stand for? Those are all important. And Facebook does give you a lot of room on the in the about section to share all of that. The other thing you want to do is customize the profile URL. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say your profile URL? Okay, good. Yes, Laura says yes. So this is the URL that shows up on your, if you go to your Facebook page, go online, go to your Facebook page, you'll see that it's in the URL. It says https:// facebook.com/your name. And if you haven't customized it, you'll see a whole bunch of numbers after that. So Facebook makes it really easy for you to go in and customize that URL so it's just your name. So Erica, for example, if yours is facebook.com/Erica Sanchez, and this is your business page I'm talking about, not your personal, but you need to do it for your personal profile too. But so if it's Erica Sanchez as one word and with a bunch of numbers, then what you want to do is go in and see if you can edit it and claim Erica Sanchez. So there could be another Erica Sanchez with Erica spelled the same way. Can you show? And so if so, you may have to put in your middle initial, for example, Erica J. Sanchez, or hyphen, something, so that you can claim that URL. Can you show 2 locations on Facebook? I'm not sure, Amanda, what you mean by that. In terms of showing 2 locations, 2 business locations. We have 2 retail locations. You might be able to, I'm not sure, it's going to have whatever the main location is the primary one, but you could possibly in your about section indicate that you have a second location. And you would add the business name on this business profile. Yes, if the business is what you're promoting, not you, then yes, it would be your business name. So facebook.com/business name. And just make sure that you can customize it so it doesn't have those numbers after it. And then you want to create an engaging cover image. And how many of you are familiar with using Canva? That's a really great tool to use. There's a free version of that. And good, Bruce. Okay. Yeah, Canva. I love Canva too. So if you use the premium version, it's not expensive. You get a lot of extra tools and images that you can use. Perfect. Canva is, I did a webinar on Canva. It's on our website. So you can go to maricopa-sbdc.com under training. There'll be pre-recorded webinars, and there's one on Canva where I demonstrated that. So feel free to go there and explore. It is a great tool because it has all the header, the cover images for all the different tools. They're already sized. It's got a bunch of templates, and you just need to customize that for your brand and add your logo. But it makes it easy to change the cover on Facebook, on Twitter, LinkedIn, all those different profiles. Instagram doesn't allow you to do that. But Canva is a wonderful tool. So let's go on here. If your business is the brand, you want to use a logo. So create a logo for the business, even if it's a barbecue, Jake's Barbecue, even if it's just words in a circle, you can use Canva to create that logo if you haven't had one professionally done. And then use that, you can create logos in Canva as well. But use Canva to create the logo, if that's helpful, if you didn't have one professionally made for you, and use that logo across all of your, in the same brand colors, right? Use it across all your social platforms so that people always know that's the correct logo. And if you've got a couple of colors, if you do the premium, if you pay for the premium in Canva, you can create a brand kit. And if you upload the logo, it will identify what those colors are in the logo. And so then you can be really consistent across all your platforms, making sure you're using the same red, the same green, the same blue, whatever the colors are that you've chosen, the same color orange. Oh, good. I'm glad, James. I'm answering your questions. Good. So use a close-up headshot of you if you are the brand. So if you're an author, then maybe what you want to promote is you as the author and not necessarily the books. You could actually do a Facebook page for all of your books and have a whole portfolio on there. But you also might want to have a page that's just about you, because you are the author, you're the writer, and this is what you write about. So then in that case, you could be the brand. If you're a coach, a life coach, then maybe it is about you and not the business name, because people are working with you individually, you personally, in which case a close-up headshot, they just want a Head and Shoulders, like what you're seeing of me here on the Zoom. They want to see your face, and that's what you want to include. You want to post business content only on your business page. On your personal page is where you talk about restaurants you visited, your family, your grandkids, whatever. That's where you talk about things about you, to talk about your personality, etc. On your business page, you want to talk about business related content that your audience is looking for. So make sure you keep those two separate. It's not, you don't want to mix them up. It just confuses the audience. Do they follow you? Do they friend you on Facebook, or do they follow you and like your business page? Don't get them confused. Make it as easy for people to understand where they are. And I've already talked about maximizing the about section. I would recommend you write this out in Word first, and you write it from the perspective of what's in it for the target audience, the WIFM, right? It's not about you. I mean, while it is about you, it's really about what you can do for them. It's what services you provide for them. It's how you help them with their daily life, how you help them solve their challenges. That's what your about section is. And all, by the way, I have these certifications and I've got this education. So you want to include that as well, but you want to really be talking to your target audience in terms of what's important for them. Why should they want to visit you, your store, or work with you? On Instagram, you want to convert your Instagram account to a business account so that you can link it to your Facebook page. So this is an important feature too. I hope everyone realizes that Meta is the umbrella company now for Facebook and Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram. Facebook also owns WhatsApp. They created Meta, just like Google's parent company is called Alphabet. And then they have a bunch of companies under Alphabet, Google being one of them, YouTube being another one. So Meta is the umbrella company for Facebook and Instagram. If you convert your Instagram profile to a business account, then you can link it to your Facebook page. And then what you post, you can use the Meta Planner as a tool to actually plan your social content and schedule your posts. So that may be useful. On your Instagram, use your logo as your profile image. Again, if your business is the brand, but use a picture of you. if you are the brand, and make it engaging. And again, authenticity is key here. We're going to take a look at an Instagram profile here. So this is where you can kind of deviate a little bit on Instagram versus Facebook. One of the ways to make your page stand out is to pick a memorable username. So you'll see here that on this one, Jen's Trends is the username. So it's Jen's _ trends, because it's easy to, it rolls off your tongue easily. It's, you know, easy to follow. But her name, who she is as a coach, as an Instagram expert, is Jen Herman. So right there in the headline, the first thing she does is boldface, Jen, then she's got a phone icon, Instagram expert. You know exactly what she does from that. Then she goes further in her bio and lists very short, snappy phrases with icons that show some humor, some, you know, character, some personality there. Award-winning blogger, speaker, and consultant. I love this, mom to mini fashionista. So you already know, okay, she's got a child and it's a mini fashion. She's developing her personality. You choose these keywords that she's put in here. You can choose them to and you know, just explore some words that are relevant to your audience, that are, you know, kind of show your personality. My recommendation, a tip for this, is that you write this bio in Word. And here's something that you can do. You add, in order to get the emojis into your bio, I had to search this because I'm thinking, if you're just writing in the bio in Instagram on your phone, there's no way to insert an emoji. So how would you do that? Well, write it in Word, do the insert function, and I would do this first. So you got the list of all of these emojis that you want, right? Go into insert on a blank document, go over to symbol, go to more symbols, and it'll bring up this little menu here. And you'll notice this is on Wingdings. If you just kind of scroll down, it could start you with a font, you know, like Times Roman or something, if that's your default font. So just scroll down until you find Wingdings, Webdings, etc. in Word. I don't know what it is on a Mac, but this is in Word on a PC. And you'll see all of these different icons. And there's a scroll bar here. You can just pull it down. This is an image, so I can't demonstrate that for you. But then you can just click on the icons that you want to use in your bio, and then put them into the document. Just click insert, and then you can close. And you'll have your list of icons. Then below that, start writing your short bio. Instagram doesn't give you a lot of space to write the bio, but that's how you can get, I'm going to go back to this slide of Jen's Trends, but that's how, you know, I think you just get these short 4 or 5 phrases, lines that you can put in here. When you go to your bio, go to the desktop app of Instagram and copy and paste the bio. Once you're satisfied, copy and paste it from Word into the desktop version of your Instagram bio. Don't use the phone. That way you'll get all those emojis in there. Also, make sure that you include a link. She's using bit.ly here, and she's customized it. So Jen's Modern Social Sale 17. She's promoting some kind of a sale here to encourage people to click on that. And there's some kind of an offer that she has. You could change that link on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis. Frequently, you could change that link if you're doing a special promotion for a sale, or, you know, a new seasonal product launch, whatever that you're, and I would recommend you do that. I also recommend that you don't use Linktree, which is what a lot of people have been doing. This is something I learned at the annual conference I recently attended. Don't use Linktree because all the analytics are going to Linktree. And what you want to use is your own website link, so that you're getting all of that detail and all the analytics about who's clicking on the link, and what are they, where are they coming from, and is it a desktop or is it a mobile? How are they reaching you? You want to put in your website or your blog, and shorten it if you need to, using bit.ly, or Hootsuite uses Owly. Google has one, I think it's go.l. LE or something like that. Or anyway, there are a lot of link shorteners that you can use. So I recommend that you do that links to your own personal website or your blog, if that's where you're linking to. Let's move on to the next slide. So we're going to talk now about creating unique content. And I'm going a little longer than I should have. I tend to talk a little bit more than I try to keep it short and sweet, but I get a little excited about what I'm talking about here. So first thing you want to do if you're new to social media is start listening. And listening is called, this is an important feature because it helps you figure out what's the content that you really want to be sharing. And you start by scrolling through your competitors' social profiles, see what they're saying on Facebook, see what kind of engagement they're getting, what topics that they're talking about is actually getting comments, getting shares, etc. Also, track the influencers that they are following and that are following them. And the influencers are people that have thousands to hundreds of thousands of followers. And maybe some of your competitors actually have relationships with some of those influencers who are talking about them. That's a different strategy altogether, but it'll give you some information about what kind of content you should be posting. And also use humor, educate your audience, show how-to videos. Those are all really popular. And include your keywords and the hashtags. The hashtags should have keywords in them, but the hashtags are how people follow trends and also do searches on social media. So, Google's the #1 search engine in the world. YouTube is the second. Facebook comes in, a second as number 2, number 3, or number 4. People actually do searches all on each of those different sites. So hashtags are one way to follow. On Twitter in particular, using a hashtag is important because you can find the whole thread of conversation about that hashtag. So include hashtags, but don't overdo hashtags. On Instagram, you want to include about 3 to 5 hashtags. On Facebook, probably about 3 to 5 hashtags. Same thing on Twitter. I mean, don't just load up your comments section on the post with nothing but hashtags. People are gonna click away from that because it's not, you're just trying to fool the search engines. And Google knows that too. So it's not gonna get you the kind of attention you're hoping for. Use a content calendar. If you click on this link it's from HubSpot. I recommend, if you aren't familiar with HubSpot, they write excellent blog posts. They have really great blogs that are how-to blogs and review other sites. If you're looking for, the best messenger app or the best this tool, best keyword tool or something like that, there's probably a blog written by the HubSpot experts. It's not just a blogging platform. They actually have a phenomenal tool for an integrated CRM that also does email marketing. But there's just a wealth of information there. And they offer this for free if you give them your name and email. They also do, I think HubSpot is one of them, or maybe it's Social Media Examiner does an annual, updates an annual social media marketing guide that I recommend you download as well. So it may be Social Media Examiner, it could be HubSpot, but when you go to this link, you'll find if they're doing it, you'll get a pop-up for getting the most recent guide. I highly recommend you do that because they update all the trends on what's happening across social media marketing. So it's a great tool to have, just to read through. It's a huge document. But the calendar is important because it's a great way for you to plan out your posts on a monthly basis. And keep in mind that you aren't going to be posting necessarily every day. If you're just using a couple of platforms, you also don't want to post every single day on Instagram. You want to leave a day in between. And there are certain times and days of the week that are the best times to post. Let me see, I hope I didn't skip past that. Let me just look here. I think that's coming up. Yep, it's coming up. Okay, good. So as I said, knowing when to post is going to be important. Overall, Tuesday through Thursday, between 9 or 10 a.m. or at 9 or 10 a.m. are the best days. But each platform also has specific days. And then check, this is from Sprout Social. That link is, again, active. And just check on Sprout Social on a monthly basis. Do a Google search for best times to post on social media 2022. And you'll see as you do this on a monthly basis, you'll see it's changing. This is something that's always changing, and the different sites track this on a regular basis. Worst day is Sunday. Now, again, I'm going to say this, the caveat here is it depends on your audience. I have a client has a huge audience in Europe. And one of the things I've discovered is that posting their newsletter, for example, sending it out on Sunday at like 2 o'clock in the morning, it gets them the best links, the best open rate, because most of their audience is in Europe. And you got the time zone changes. So knowing where your audience is this good for Arizona only? No, this is not. This is general world. This is probably global. So Vivian, answering that question, yeah, it's important that you know where your audience is. If your audience is located only in Arizona, in which case, again, doing a Google search for best times to post on social in Arizona would be a great way to get that level of detail. But this is pretty general because, Facebook, this kind of in general, Monday through Friday at 3 a.m., apparently, Tuesday at 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. And then they're very specific about this. Instagram, best times and days, Monday, 11 a.m., Tuesday through Wednesday, 10 to 1, anytime between the that's kind of over the lunch hour. And Thursday to Friday, 10 and 11 a.m. So what you're seeing here is that only on Twitter, Saturday at 9 a.m., Twitter seems to be the only one where Saturday is actually also a good time. But you can test it, and that's what you should do. Pinterest isn't on there. No, I didn't get Pinterest, but it might be on Sprout Social. I just can't remember. But you can actually do a special search for best time to post on Pinterest. And you can look at the Pinterest analytics as well. If you're on Pinterest and posting regularly, then you'll get some analytics there that tell you when, which posts are actually getting the most attention. Google Analytics tracks when your specific posts get the most views and tells you the best day and time to post. Yes, Google Analytics is an excellent tool for that as well. Thanks, Lisa. I don't always point that out because, then we get into a conversation about what's Google Analytics and how do I use it. But yes, absolutely. Google Analytics is an excellent tool, and you can install that code on your, I don't know if you can put it on your social sites, but I know you can put it on your website for sure. So just do some research and to identify when would be the best time and day for you to post. The other thing, and this is another tool that you're going to get, is, let me go back here. I'm going to give you, or you have received, a tool that lists keyword search tools and scheduling tools. And I guess I didn't include the scheduling tools in here, but I want to talk briefly about Buffer is one scheduling tool that I use all the time just because it's so easy. It has its own algorithms. And so it'll show you in a calendar like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, every day of the week, and you click on the social profile like on Facebook for Monday, and it'll show you, well, on Monday, this is the best time. These are the best times to post on Monday. And frequently that's like 6:30 at night. The others, same thing for Instagram, for Twitter, etc. It'll actually give you those specific times. And Buffer is really specific. It's at 1:13 p.m. It isn't at 1:15. It isn't at 1. It's at 1:13 p.m. And it changes on a daily basis, and it changes for each social profile. So you might want to look at Buffer. You can actually connect 3 social profiles for free. Otherwise, you pay the premium and you can connect a wide number of social profiles. And Canva provides post scheduling as well. Yes, you can connect social profiles. I've tested it from time to time. It hasn't really worked well for me, which is why I prefer to use Buffer. But if it works for you, by all means, then use. A lot of these tools are beginning to do that, right? They want to do everything they want to keep you on their platform. And so, Canva started out just as a design tool, and now it's a scheduling tool, and you can connect Facebook and Instagram. Meta Planner is another one. That's why I suggested connecting Facebook and Instagram. That's the only two things you can post to on using the Meta Planner. That may change over time. I bet you can probably include WhatsApp if you use WhatsApp on a regular basis. I've also had some success, but I've had some things show up where I've had to go back and edit a post, and it showed up twice. So, instead of deleting the prior post or letting me simply edit the existing post, it ended up posting it twice. So that's another reason why I'm not thrilled with Meta Planner. I've had some problems, some issues about that. So any other questions? I'm happy to answer them. And I'm glad you're enjoying this, and this is good information. So thank you, both Marcia and Bruce. And you are welcome, James, more than happy. And this is going to be, it is recorded. It's going to be uploaded to our website. So you can always go back and look at this down the road. This is my email address, and you'll have it in here. If you are not an SBDC client of the Maricopa SBDC, we can't work with you. You need to register first. And let me give you a little bit of information about that. The place to go, if you live in Maricopa County, then please register with the maricopa-sbdc.com. If you're in Tucson, there's a great SBDC down there with the Pima Community College. And across the state of Arizona, just look for the SBDC that's near you. Our goal is to build a working relationship with all of our clients. So when you register with us, the first thing that happens with Maricopa anyway is that you'll get assigned to a counselor first and foremost, who will reach out to you to schedule the initial session. And then you'll work with that counselor ongoing. And if another counselor is needed to bring in because that person has the expertise that you need right now, then that your lead counselor will invite another counselor to co-counsel. And so you get access to not just one, but many of us. If we in the SBDC, in the Maricopa SBDC, don't have the expertise, we have the other members of the 10 centers in the state of Arizona that we can reach out to, plus nearly 1,000 SBDCs across the country. Is there a walk-in in Chandler area? I don't know. We're just now talking about getting back to staffing offices. Then we do have satellite offices throughout Maricopa County, and it's possible there is someone in Chandler. I don't know myself, but look for that information down the road, because we're now starting that process over the next month or so. I imagine we'll have people start staffing the various satellite offices and meeting with clients in person. That is a direction we're going back to. So again, if you're not yet with the Maricopa SBDC, then please do register for assistance, and we're happy to work with you. Thanks again for joining us. There should be a survey after this. If you don't get the survey, you'll probably get it in a couple of days if it's not immediately here after the webinar. And we really look forward to seeing you again on future webinars and working with you. And I'm glad that you found this useful. That's very helpful. You are welcome. And have a great day, everyone. The handouts, I'm just looking at some of the comments still. Roseanne, the handouts should have been sent, I think, yesterday, but if not, you'll get them today or tomorrow. And the other thing is I've uploaded everything to a Google Drive, so that may be another way that we can get things to you. There are a lot of handouts. If they don't come through your email, then just let us know. Because then you'll definitely need to download them from the Google Drive link. Okay, but you will be getting all of the handouts if you have not yet. So thank you again. Have a great day. I'm going to stop the the meeting now. So good to see you all. Thank you.